Hello, my dear family. Very good evening, or rather, I would say very good morning because it's close to early morning. Okay, so we are about to see the next indicator, which is called as VWAP. Okay, so VWAP. Okay, so what does this VWAP mean? So let me first give you the abbreviation for this. VWAP stands for volume weighted average price. At first, it will get confused, but I'll tell you what VWAP is. Okay, so since now we know what VWAP is actually, I'm marking this as done. Okay, so now what is VWAP? So and how it is calculated? It's very simple. So VWAP takes the closing price of a stock, okay, and it multiplies it by the volume, okay, and this together is divided by the total volume of that is traded in the markets, okay, as per that particular stock or share. So the factors are, it takes the price at a particular point, the closing price, I'll mention it here, the closing price, and on that particular candle what is the volume. Both of these are multiplied and divided by the total volume as of that particular time of trading. Okay, so this is all that you can remember. Is if this, you don't need to remember this formula, but just have in mind that VWAP is simply the price multiplied by volume. Okay, and why is this more important? Okay, so because in EMA, if you remember EMA or SMA, it just included the closing price and averaged it, whether it's a simple moving average or in an EMA, just weight was added to the closing price of the stock based on the number of candles, right? But here this considers the volume that is actively traded. So this is a more reliable indicator, right? So basically it is price into the volume. Okay. So now where will we use this VWAP? VWAP is mainly used for intraday trading. Okay. And this will not give good results in swing trading or investing. So the majority where VWAP will be used is for intraday trading only. Okay, so let us now move to a live example where I will show you with a chart. Okay, and while I teach about this, I will also show you how to open the chart. So I'm using Zerodha as an example. The process will be the same, more or less the same with other brokers also. Okay, so I'm just opening this chart here. Okay, and again ITC is not a recommendation, it's just as an example. Okay, so let us take another example, say for example Tata Steel. Okay, now the chart looks like this. Okay, now how do I add the VWAP indicator? Just it's the same process as how you added the EMA and simple moving average. Go to the FX indicators here and then select VWAP, type VWAP and click on the result below. Now can you see a line? So this is the price multiplied by volume and it calculates continuously and it plots a line graph here. Okay, I'm just going into the setting. I'm just changing some color, say purple, and I'm giving the two value thickness. Right. And now how do we understand this VWAP indicator? Okay. So as I said, I am on a 5 minutes time frame because I'll show you why this will not work for a higher time frame like a day, week or month. Okay, now I am selected in the day time frame, right? If you can see, it is exactly going through the middle of each candle in a day, and if I see for a week also, it is the same, right? So you cannot really figure out any kind of a trading strategy in a higher time frame with the VWAP indicator. This is on a monthly. So as I said, this is for an intraday, right? So let me take a 5 minutes time frame here. Okay, and now here, can you see? I'm just zooming this. Can you see this point here? So this particular candle, it has closed above the VWAP. It's a bullish Marubozu. Video is already there. You can check it out in the pinned comment in the group. So now the purple line is the VWAP, and now the price has closed above the VWAP. This is the price level, right? This is the price, closing price, and the candle has closed above the VWAP. Now here if you can see, from this point onwards, the price has gone up. It is continuously above the VWAP line, correct? So whenever a candle crosses above the VWAP and the next candle also is crossing above the high of the previous candle, we can come to know that the respective stock is in an uptrend. As you can see, the stock is making a higher high and a little bit low, again a higher high, higher low, like that. So let me go back in time and let me show you another example here, right? So we have a very good example here itself. If you can see this candle, let me mark it. This candle, if you can see, it has closed below the VWAP, and the next candle, it has closed below the VWAP as well, right? So can you see, from this point onwards, the stock is in a downtrend. How? This is a high, this is a low, and this is a lower high, this is a lower low, lower high, lower low, based on the trend structure. So guys, in short, whenever any candle closes above the VWAP and the second candle closes above the previous candle's high, it is in an uptrend, and it is the exact opposite when a stock is going in a downtrend. Now I'm clearing all these drawings here. Now if you can see, there is one more thing that we need to see here. If you can see, just observe the VWAP, guys. Okay, the VWAP line is slightly going in downward. The slope is downward. Okay, so which means that the stock, as the slope goes, as the slope towards the downside increases, the stock keeps going to the downside, right? And here in this example, you can see the VWAP line is going up. The VWAP line is going up here in a much steeper slope, and depending if the slope is very steep, then you can say that the strong is in a huge uptrend, right? You can see here, and this is in a slight downtrend, but this is in a huge uptrend. Okay, so basically, let me summarize. So, and before that, let me give you one more example here. Just deleting the drawings. And how do you identify when the market is sideways so that you don't enter? Simple. The VWAP line will almost be in a flat range. If you can see here, the VWAP line is almost like a straight line. So in this case, if you can see, the stock is also in a sideways direction. So there are certain strategies that you can use to trade even when the market is sideways. But for now, I am just telling you that whenever the market is sideways, you can avoid entering any stock. Okay. So now we have now seen how it looks in an uptrend, how it looks in a downtrend, and how it looks in a sideways market also. Okay. Now let me summarize. So uptrend is slope slightly upward or steeper. Downtrend is sloped slightly downward or or steeper in downward direction. Sideways almost zero slope or lying flat, and avoid taking any trade during sideways market. So guys, so I'll just show you one more example. These are the three things that you need to have in mind. Uptrend is sloped slightly upward or even steeper. Downtrend is sloped slightly downward or even steeper and downwards. Sideways is almost the slope higher angle is zero, or the VWAP line is flat, and we can avoid taking a trade on any particular stock if it is in a sideways direction. And again, to reiterate, VWAP is best used in an intraday trading also. Let me show you one more example, not a recommendation. Let me take an example of let me say MRF, and see guys, you can see here, this is again on the same 5 minutes chart. Right, this candle has closed below the VWAP, and the next candle has again closed lower than the previous candle's low. Because why low? Because it's in a downtrend. And from here, can you see this? This is a pretty reasonable slope in the downward direction. So price is low, a little bit high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low. Again, the price stock goes like that. So guys, again, as I told in the previous EMA and SMA example also, indicators are used to provide only additional confirmation, but do not take any trading decision just based on a single indicator, right? So guys, that's it for the VWAP indicator session. Meet you in the next indicator session. Have a good night. Thank you. Please ask your queries either in person or in the group if you have any. Thank you guys. Have a good day.